Have you ever reached the end of the day, looked back, and felt nothing but the hollow ache of wasted potential? You know the feeling, that silent, gnawing disgust with yourself for the calls you didn't make, the work you didn't start, the life you didn't live. Just for today, you stand on the battlefield of your own ambition, but your feet are cemented to the ground by 1,000 tiny excuses. This isn't just a bad day. It's a pattern, a virus of hesitation that whispers to you that tomorrow is a better time to fight, and you, the warrior, have been listening to the traitor within. But imagine for a moment a different reality. Picture yourself waking up before the alarm, not with dread, but with a cold, sharp clarity of purpose. Visualize your mind not as a storm of doubt, but as a silent, disciplined command center. Every task, every challenge, every obstacle is not a reason to pause, but a target to be neutralized. A future where action is not a struggle, but your default state. A reality where you trust yourself so completely that your word becomes law. And your plans become your destiny. This isn't a fantasy. It is the man you were meant to be. The gap between the man you are and the man you will become is not a chasm. It is a wall. And this video is the demolition charge. This is not another list of productivity tips to make you feel good for an hour. This is a complete system of mental reprogramming. It is the operational code to permanently destroy the virus of procrastination at its source and install a new identity. The identity of a man who executes without hesitation. So if you are ready to stop negotiating with your weakness and start commanding your life, then your training begins now. Subscribe to this channel. This is not a subscription. This is your enlistment. It is your sworn contract to yourself that the war on your hesitation starts today. You have been told a lie. You've been told that procrastination is a problem of time management or laziness. You've been instructed to make lists, to set timers, to find better apps. But you have done all that, and here you are. The truth is, you are fighting the wrong enemy. Procrastination is not the disease. It is the fever. It is the visible symptom of a much deeper infection. A virus that has corrupted your mental operating system at the core level. The name of this virus is doubt. It is the silent assassin of men. Doubt is the source code of all hesitation. It's the quiet voice that whispers, "What if you fail? Is this the right time? Maybe you should wait for a better plan." Every time you listen, you feed it. Every time you pause, you strengthen its hold. You are not lazy, you are infected with a pattern of self-distrust. You have trained your mind through endless repetition to believe that your own judgment is flawed and that inaction is safer than a potential mistake. This is the state Napoleon Hill called drifting, the act of surrendering your will to the currents of fear and uncertainty, becoming a ship without a rudder, a soldier without a commander. This virus thrives in the space between thought and action. The longer you allow that space to exist, the more powerful the infection becomes. It rewires your neural pathways to make hesitation your default response. It creates a comfort zone out of your own paralysis, making the prison of inaction feel like a sanctuary. You think you are protecting yourself from failure, but you are actually guaranteeing it. You are choosing the slow death of your potential over the risk of facing a battle that could make you a king. The cost of this internal treason is everything you have ever wanted. It's a subtle poison. It doesn't kill you with one blow. It erodes you day by day, decision by postponed decision. It robs your goals of their energy, your ambition of its fire, and your self-respect of its foundation. You begin to see yourself not as a creator, but as a spectator in your own life. You watch other men build their empires, take their ground, and claim their victories, while you are stuck researching, planning, and waiting for the right moment. That moment will never arrive. The perfect condition is a myth created by the virus of doubt to keep you locked in its cage. Your first command in this war is to correctly identify the enemy. Stop fighting the shadow of procrastination. You must declare war on its root, the insidious, corrosive habit of doubt. You must see it not as a part of your personality, but as a foreign invader occupying your mind. It is a bug in your code that must be located, isolated, and ruthlessly purged. To win this war, you do not need more time, more information, or more motivation. You need a new protocol, a protocol of absolute certainty that is installed through action. This is not a negotiation. It is an exorcism. You must starve the doubt and feed the action. You must shrink the space between intention and execution until it is non-existent. When the command is given, the soldier acts. He does not debate the command. He does not analyze its potential flaws. He executes. Your mind must become that soldier, and you must become that commander. This shift in identity begins by understanding that your enemy is not an external force, but an internal code that you have allowed to run for far too long. Today, we rewrite that code. Let's seal this new intelligence. Your mind is a fortress, and you are its commander. It's time to act like it. Respire fundo. Repeat this command out loud to send the order to every cell in your body. I am the commander of my mind. I do not negotiate with doubt. Now be grateful for this clarity. Be grateful for the pain that doubt has caused you, for it has revealed the enemy. That pain is the signal that your spirit is still fighting, that it refuses to surrender. It is the raw material you will now use as fuel. Your order for the next 24 hours is this. Identify the one task that doubt has paralyzed you from starting. The most important one. Write it down. That is your target. You will not complete it. You will simply take the first, smallest, most microscopic physical action to begin it. You will send the one-sentence email. You will write the first line of code. You will put on your running shoes. You will execute this micro-action in the next 60 minutes. Commit to this. This is your first strike against the virus, a declaration in blood and action that the old regime of doubt is over. You are no longer a drifter. You are a commander. Now act. The engine of achievement is not motivation, it is not talent, and it is not opportunity. It is the simple, brutal power of decision. Every man who has ever built an empire, conquered a nation, or changed the course of history shared one common trait: the ability to make a swift, definitive decision and stand by it as if their life depended on it. Because it does. Indecision is the breeding ground of doubt. It is the swamp where ambition goes to die. Waiting for 100% certainty before you act is the most effective form of self-sabotage ever invented. A battlefield commander who waits for perfect intelligence before launching an attack will be annihilated in his sleep. He understands that victory lies in acting decisively with 70% of the information and adapting to the rest on the move. You, in your life, are that commander. Yet, you wait, paralyzed, demanding a risk-free guarantee that the universe will never give you. You are training your mind to equate safety with stagnation. Every time you say, "I'll think about it," what your subconscious hears is, "I am afraid." You are reinforcing the identity of a man who hesitates the moment you make a true decision. You alter your own biochemistry. A switch is flipped. The question in your mind instantly transforms from a weak, pleading, "Should I?" to a powerful, commanding, "How will I?" The world does not make way for the man who hopes. It kneels before the man who decides. When you make a decision, you cut off all other possibilities. You send an unequivocal signal to your subconscious mind and to the universe that you are no longer available for distraction or delay. Your energy, once scattered by doubt, now converges like a laser beam on a single point: execution. This is why men like Henry Ford were able to forge the future. When he decided to build the V8 engine, his engineers told him it was impossible. They presented proof, they presented logic, but they were arguing with a man who had already decided. His mind was closed to the possibility of failure, and therefore it was forced to find the path to success. He did not have a map. He had a decision. The decision was the map. True decision is the act of creating the path, not waiting to find. 1. You believe you need to feel ready before you decide. This is the lie of the virus. Readiness is not a precondition for a decision. It is the consequence of a decision. You will never feel 100% ready. That feeling of perfect preparedness does not exist. It is a phantom. The courage you are waiting for will be found on the other side of your decision, not before it. Action manufactures motivation. It doesn't ask for it. The simple act of choosing a path and taking the first step floods your system with the very energy you thought you lacked. You must stop treating your decisions like casual preferences and start treating them like sacred vows. A decision is not a wish. It is a command you issue to reality. It is the tool with which you carve your destiny from the raw marble of time. The more swiftly and firmly you make decisions, the more you train your mind to be a weapon of creation. Rather than a warehouse of anxieties, start with small things. Decide what you will do in the next hour and execute it without deviation. Decide to speak or to stay silent and commit to it. Build the muscle of decision, and you will build a life of command. It is time to install this code. This is who you are now. You are not a man who waits for signs. You are the sign. Stand up. Declare this with the force of a man signing a treaty. With his own future, I am decisive. My action crushes my hesitation. Be grateful for every past indecision. Every single one was a training lesson, exposing the weakness in your system. They were the sparring partners that prepared you for this moment, the moment you take command. Thank them for the data, then dismiss them forever. Here is your order, that target you identified in the last section, the one you were to take a micro-action on. That was a drill. Now comes the real command. You will make one irreversible decision about that task right now that commits you to a path. You will purchase the domain name. You will pay for the first month of the gym membership. You will send the email to the potential mentor announcing your intention. Make a decision that has a consequence. A decision that costs you something: money, reputation, or comfort to back out of. This is your first taste of real power. The power is not in the outcome. The power is in the decision itself. Execute this command within the hour. No excuses. No delay. An object at rest stays at rest. An object in motion stays in motion. This is not just a law of physics. It is the fundamental law of human achievement. The single greatest obstacle you face is not the size of the task, but the inertia of your inaction. A boulder sitting still can be held in place by a small wooden wedge, but that same boulder, once it begins rolling down a mountain, will smash through a concrete wall. You have been living your life as the stationary boulder, allowing the smallest of obstacles to keep you paralyzed. Today, you learn to roll. You are waiting for a tidal wave of motivation to carry you forward. You are waiting for inspiration to strike you like lightning. You are waiting for a perfect day. You will wait forever. Motivation is not the cause of action. It is the child of action. The fire of enthusiasm does not start with a grand explosion. It starts with a single tiny spark. Your job is not to create the inferno. Your job is to create the spark. The laws of momentum will take care of the rest. Your mind is designed to resist starting things, but it is also designed to want to finish things. This is a psychological loophole you will now exploit with ruthless efficiency. The enemy, the virus of doubt, is strongest at the moment of initiation. It throws up a wall of perceived difficulty to keep you in the safe zone of inaction. Your strategy is not to try and smash through that wall. Your strategy is to find a hole so small that there is no resistance and simply slip through it. This is the power of the micro-commitment. Instead of facing the overwhelming task of writing a book, your mission is to write one perfect sentence. Instead of going to the gym, your mission is to put on your workout clothes. Instead of building a business, your mission is to write down one idea on a napkin. This may sound absurdly small. It is designed to be. It is a move so non-threatening that the internal resistance mechanism doesn't even bother to activate. But the moment you write that sentence, the moment you lace up those shoes, the law of momentum is engaged. You have broken the state of rest. Thomas Edison did not invent the light bulb. He tested 10,000 filaments that failed. His genius was not in the grand vision alone. It was in his mastery of momentum. He understood that progress was not one giant leap, but a relentless chain of tiny, consecutive actions. Each failed experiment was not a failure. It was a spark. It was the continuation of motion. He didn't have to summon the motivation to test 10,000 filaments. He only had to summon the will to test one more, and then one more. That is the secret. Your focus must shift entirely from the finish line to the first step, and then to the step after that. The future, the grand outcome, is irrelevant in the moment of execution. Thinking about the mountain ahead will paralyze you. Your entire universe must shrink to the single, next, smallest possible action. You build a wall not by thinking about the wall, but by laying one brick perfectly. You win a war not by dreaming of the victory parade, but by taking 1 inch of ground. This is how empires are built. This is how men become gods. One action at a time. This is your new physics. This is the law that governs your universe. Let this lorry write your neural code. Stand and let your voice be the first spark. I am motion. My consistency is unstoppable. Now express gratitude for the state of rest. It has shown you the contrast. Without the feeling of being stuck, you could never know the liberating power of movement. The stillness was a lesson. The lesson is now over. Your operational command is this. For the next 7 days, you will attach a 5-minute micro-action to an existing daily habit. Before your morning coffee, you will do 5 minutes of planning. After you brush your teeth, you will read 2 pages of a book. Before you check your phone, you will write 1 business idea. The action must be so small it feels ridiculous to skip it. Your goal is not the outcome of the task. Your goal is to win the battle of consistency for 7 straight days. Your mission is to build the momentum. Do not break the chain. The power is not in the 5 minutes. It is in the unbroken chain. Begin your first 5-minute action immediately after watching this video. Go. Your current reality is a direct reflection of the commands you have been feeding your subconscious mind. For years, you have been engaged in a relentless campaign of self-hypnosis without even realizing it. Every time you said, "I'm just a procrastinator, I'm not disciplined, or I can't seem to focus," you were not describing a reality, you were issuing a command. Your subconscious mind, like a loyal and unquestioning soldier, heard your order and did everything in its power to make it true. It is a fertile field. Whatever seed you plant in it, be it corn or nightshade, it will grow with equal vigor. You cannot expect to win a war if you are secretly broadcasting propaganda for the enemy. The war against inaction is won or lost first in the silent theater of your own mind. The greatest achievers, the men who bend reality to their will, understand this. They are not just masters of action. They are masters of their own internal dialogue. They deliberately and systematically plant seeds of power, discipline, and unwavering certainty into the fertile soil of their subconscious. This is the science of autosuggestion, and it is the key to forging a new identity. Words are not just sounds. Words are code. They are programming instructions for the human mind. The words you repeat to yourself with emotion and conviction become your beliefs. Your beliefs dictate your actions. Your actions, repeated over time, become your identity. If you want to change who you are, you must begin by changing the code you run. You must seize control of your internal monologue and transform it from a script of weakness into a declaration of power. Think of the mind of a man like Andrew Carnegie. He rose from abject poverty to become one of the wealthiest men in history. Did he do this by constantly reminding himself of his limitations? Or did he, as Napoleon Hill discovered, saturate his mind with the idea of wealth, of success, of inevitable triumph? He ran a different code. He understood that his external world would eventually have to conform to the blueprint he was building in his internal world. This is not mystical thinking. This is psychological engineering. You must stop describing yourself by your weaknesses and start defining yourself by your commitments. Your new language is not "I will try." It is "I am." It is not "I hope to." It is "I do." Start today, right now. Create a short, powerful present tense statement that defines the man you are now commanding yourself to be. I am a man of immediate action. I am disciplined and focused. I execute my decisions without hesitation. This is your new truth. This will feel like a lie at first. Your old programming will resist. It will tell you that you are an imposter. That is a sign that the process is working. You are overwriting the old code. The lie, when repeated with emotional intensity and backed by even the smallest of actions, will begin to feel more real than the truth of your old limitations. Your brain will create new neural pathways to align with this new identity. You are literally, physically reforging your mind. This is the forge of identity. It is time to hammer your new self into existence. Repeat this. Let it echo in your skull. I am the architect of my beliefs. My words forge my reality. Be grateful for your old inner voice. It was a faulty tool, but it taught you the power of words. It demonstrated through negative example that what you tell yourself becomes your world. It was the perfect teacher for this lesson. Its service is no longer required. Your standing order is this. Write down your new identity statement. 1 sentence. I am a man of relentless discipline, or I execute my purpose without fail. Place this written command where you will see it every single morning. Your bathroom mirror, your computer screen, your car's dashboard. Every morning you will look at it and you will repeat it out loud 5 times, not as a hope but as a report of fact. You are stating what is, This is your new morning briefing with your commander-in-chief. You will do this for 30 consecutive days. Begin tomorrow. You operate under the delusion of infinity. You believe you have an endless supply of tomorrows. You waste hours as if they were pebbles on a beach, thinking you can always just grab another handful. This is the most dangerous lie a man can tell himself, the brutal, unforgiving truth. Is this: time is not a renewable resource. It is a finite, non-negotiable currency, and you are spending it every second, whether you are investing it in your empire or burning it on the altar of hesitation. Every second you trade for procrastination is a piece of your life you have sold for nothing. Imagine you had a bank account and every single morning $86,400 were deposited into it. There's only one rule: whatever you don't use, buy. The end of the day disappears forever. It does not roll over. Would you let a single dollar go to waste? Would you treat that fortune with such casual disrespect? Of course not. You would plan every cent you would invest. You would build. You have that exact account, but its currency is not dollars, it is seconds, and every day you are letting thousands of them burn away while you wait for the right mood to strike. This is not just about lost productivity. This is about lost life. The opportunities you postpone do not wait for you. They are seized by other men who understand the value of now. The person you could have become, the relationships you could have built, the legacy you could have forged, all of it is being traded away for the cheap temporary comfort of delay. Procrastination is the silent thief of destiny. It doesn't just steal your future. It poisons your present, filling it with the anxiety and self-loathing that comes from knowing you are betraying your own potential. The great builders of civilization, from the Roman engineers to the pioneers of the digital age, were obsessed with the productive use of time. They viewed time not as a river to float on, but as a block of marble from which to carve their vision. They understood that a wasted minute is a strategic blunder. They acted with a sense of urgency because they were acutely aware of their own mortality. They knew their 86,400 seconds were limited, and they were in a race to build something that would outlast them. You must adopt this mindset. You are not just busy or not busy. You are either investing your seconds or you are wasting them. There is no middle ground. Every choice, from hitting the snooze button to scrolling through a feed, is an investment decision. Is this action moving you closer to the man you are commanded to become, or is it a withdrawal from your life's account with no return? You must become a ruthless accountant of your own time. This realization should terrify you. It should light a fire under you that makes the comfort of inaction unbearable. The pain of action is temporary. It is the pain of exertion, the pain of growth. The pain of regret, however, is eternal. It is the ghost that will haunt your deathbed, whispering the names of all the versions of you that you allowed to die in the womb of hesitation. You have a choice right now, in this second, to stop funding that regret. The power to change your life does not reside in next week or tomorrow or even in an hour. It exists only in this exact moment. Now, this is the only point in time where your will can be exercised. This is where you reclaim your life. Let this truth sear itself into your soul. You are a steward of time, and your duty is to invest it with honor. Declare it. I am the master of my time. I invest every second in my empire. Be grateful for every moment you have wasted. Each one was a costly lesson on the value of what remains. You paid for that knowledge with portions of your life. Do not let that tuition go to waste. Honor the fallen seconds by giving purpose to the ones that are still to come. Your command is immediate and non-negotiable. Look at the clock. For the next 60 minutes, you will dedicate yourself to a single, important task related to your primary mission. No phone, no distractions, no excuses. You will turn off this video and you will engage in 1 hour of focused, productive investment in your own future. The clock is ticking. The choice is yours. Make the command decision. Now, how many times have you started a new path only to retreat at the first sign of difficulty? How many goals have you abandoned because you kept a comfortable escape route open? Your mind is an expert at self-preservation. As long as it knows there is a safe bridge leading back to the comfort of your old habits, it will always be tempted to use it. The path of least resistance will always be the most crowded, too. Achieve what others will not. You must be willing to do what others dare not. You must burn your bridges. This principle is as old as warfare itself. When the great conqueror Landed on the shores of Mexico to begin his campaign, he faced a hostile land and an overwhelmingly superior force. His men were terrified, their thoughts turning to the ships that brought them to the easy escape back to safety. Knew that a divided mind cannot win a war, so he gave a single terrifying command: burn the ships. In that moment he eliminated all possibility of retreat. There were only two options left: conquer or die. History tells us what his men, fueled by the terrifying clarity of having no other choice, accomplished. You must become the of your own mind. You have allowed yourself too many escape routes. You tell yourself, I'll try this diet, but if it's too hard, I can always go back to eating junk. You say, I'll start this business, but I'll keep my old job just in case. This just in case is the bridge that guarantees your failure. It is a declaration to your subconscious that you do not truly believe in your own success. It is an open invitation for doubt to sabotage your efforts because it knows there are no real consequences for quitting. High achievers engineer situations where they have no choice but to succeed. They go all in. They create stakes so high that backing down is more painful than moving forward. This is not about being reckless. It is about being committed. It is a strategic manufacturing of necessity. When your survival, your reputation, or a significant investment is on the line, your mind stops generating excuses and starts generating solutions. It becomes hyper-focused, creative, and relentless. You unlock reserves of power you never knew you possessed because the situation demands it. Think about it. Have you ever been more productive than in the 24 hours before a major deadline? In those hours, you become a different person, a person of immense focus and efficiency. Why? Because the bridge back to later has been burned by the approaching deadline. There is no escape. There is only action, the secret of the worlds. Most productive people is that they do not wait for those deadlines to be imposed upon them. They create them intentionally. You must create your own point of no return. You must make your goals public, creating social accountability. You must invest your own money, creating financial skin in the game. You must commit to a mentor or a team, creating a responsibility to others. You must systematically remove every safety net, every escape hatch, every bridge that leads back to the comfortable, mediocre land of your past self. You must force your own hand. This is the ultimate act of faith in yourself. It is telling the universe, and more importantly, your own mind, that you are so committed to your new identity that you are willing to destroy the old one completely. It is a declaration of total war on your own weakness. This is the code of conquerors. Install it now. Let the fire of this decision burn away your exits. I do not retreat. I do not surrender. I conquer or I die. Be grateful for the bridges you never burned. They were maps that showed you exactly where your commitment was weak. Each escape route you kept open was a diagnostic tool, revealing the fears you still needed to confront. Now you know where the enemy's escape hatches are. Your mission is to seal them. Your order is this: choose one important goal. Now create a consequence that makes quitting unthinkable. Announce it on your social media with a deadline. Form a pact with a friend where you will owe them a significant amount of money if you fail. Schedule a non-refundable event in the future that depends on your success. Take one action today that makes it easier to keep moving forward than 2. Go back. Burn. 1. Bridge. Now, you believe discipline is a product of willpower. You think that successful men are born with a deeper reserve of internal strength that you lack. This is a fundamental misunderstanding. Relying on your own willpower to fight the daily war against inertia is like trying to stop a tank with a handgun. It might work for a moment, but eventually you will be overrun. The most disciplined men in the world are not masters of willpower. They are masters of architecture. They do not rely on internal resolve. They build external systems of pressure that make discipline the only logical option. Your brain is hardwired for one primary purpose: to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Procrastination is simply your mind's attempt to avoid the perceived pain of a difficult task in favor of the immediate pleasure of distraction. The secret to unbreakable discipline is not to fight this programming, but to hijack it. You must architect a system where the pain of not doing the task becomes far greater than the pain of doing it. This is the power of positive pressure, the strategic use of accountability. Think of the promises you make to yourself in silence. They are easily broken, aren't they? There are no consequences beyond your own quiet disappointment. Now think of a promise you make publicly to a person you respect, a mentor, a leader, a team. The stakes are instantly different. The thought of failing in their eyes, the shame of not living up to your word, becomes a powerful motivating force. Your brain, in its quest to avoid that social pain, will move mountains to ensure the task gets done. This is not weakness. This is strategic intelligence. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote letters to his friend Lucilius, not just for his friend's benefit, but for his own. By putting his philosophies and commitments in writing for another to see, he created a system of accountability. He bound himself to his own teachings. He understood that a man alone is easily swayed, but a man accountable to his tribe, his peers, or his own public declarations becomes a fortress of consistency. He built a cage of honor around himself, and in doing so, found true freedom. You must stop trying to be a lone wolf. The lone wolf is a myth. The most elite warriors in the world, the Navy SEALs, the Spartan soldiers, operate in teams. Their loyalty is not just to the mission, but to the man standing next to them. The fear of letting their brother down is a more powerful motivator than any threat of personal harm. You must create your own fire team. Find a mentor and report your progress daily. Form a small group of like-minded men committed to the same high standards, where failure by one is felt as a failure by all. If you cannot find such a group, create it with your own actions. Start a blog, a podcast, or a social media channel documenting your journey. Announce your goals, your systems, and your daily progress. You may start with an audience of one, but you have created an external mirror. You have invited the world to be your drill sergeant. The pressure to remain consistent when you know others are watching is immense. Use this. Weaponize the human need for social esteem to build your new identity. This is the architecture of discipline. You are not fighting your nature. You are directing it. Let this system become your new reality. Your word is your bond, and your honor is on the line. Declare it. My word is law. My commitment is iron. Be grateful for the times you have failed in private. They taught you that your secret promises are worthless without a system of enforcement. They proved the hypothesis that willpower alone is not enough. They were the necessary data points that led you to this superior strategy. Your command is to create an accountability loop today. Identify one person in your life you respect. It could be a friend, a family member, or a professional mentor. Send them a short, direct message. It will say, "I have committed to your goal. My objective for this week is your specific, measurable target. I will report to you on my progress in 7 days." The fear and discomfort you feel before hitting send is the evidence that this system works. That feeling is the pressure building. It is the feeling of your new, disciplined self being forged. Send the message. Discipline will get you started. Pressure will keep you consistent. But what sustains you through the long, dark, grinding middle of the war? What is the fuel that keeps the engine of ambition running when the finish line is nowhere in sight? It is enthusiasm, but not the cheap, fleeting excitement you think of. True, sustainable enthusiasm is not an emotion you wait for. It is a state of being you cultivate. A man who runs on motivation will quit at the first sign of boredom. A man who runs on cultivated enthusiasm is unstoppable. The biggest mistake men make is believing that action follows feeling. You wait to feel enthusiastic before you begin. The universal law is the exact opposite. Feeling follows action. Enthusiasm is not the spark. It is the fire that grows from the spark of action. Have you ever started a task feeling tired and uninspired, only to find yourself an hour later completely absorbed, filled with energy and focus? That is the law in action. You generated the enthusiasm through the act of doing the world's most. Successful people know this. They don't wait to feel good. They act in order to feel good. Enthusiasm is a product of two key ingredients: a connection to a definite purpose and the celebration of progress. If your actions feel meaningless, they will be a drain on your spirit. If your progress goes unrecognized, your motivation will starve. You must consciously and continuously link your smallest daily actions to your largest life mission. This isn't just writing an email. This is laying a brick for my empire. This isn't making a sales call. This is funding my family's freedom. Framing is everything. Your why is the ultimate source of your energy. The second ingredient is progress. Your brain is wired to thrive on feedback and reward. It needs to know it's winning. The problem is most men only allow themselves to feel good when they hit the final massive goal. They endure months or years of grinding with no internal reward and then wonder why they burn out. This is a losing strategy. You must learn to harvest enthusiasm from small daily victories. You must create a personal culture of celebrating progress, no matter how minor. The master builders of history, like the architects of the great cathedrals, did not see the final spire for decades. What kept them going? The daily satisfaction of setting one stone perfectly, the weekly progress of completing one arch. They found their enthusiasm in the craft, in the small tangible wins that proved they were moving forward. They rewarded themselves with the pride of a job well done, day in and day out. This created a positive feedback loop. Action led to progress. Progress was celebrated, celebration generated enthusiasm, and enthusiasm fueled more action. You must build this feedback loop into your own life. At the end of each day, you must take inventory. Do not focus on what you didn't do. Focus on what you did. Did you make the call? Did you write the page? Did you keep your promise to yourself? Acknowledge the win, feel the satisfaction, create a simple ritual. It could be a mental mission accomplished, a check mark in a journal, or even a small physical reward. You are training your brain to associate action with pleasure. You are hijacking your own reward system to serve your highest purpose. This is how you manufacture the fuel for a long war. You become your own source of energy. Let this new metabolic process begin. Declare your independence from external motivation. I am the source of my enthusiasm. My purpose is my fuel. Be grateful for the feeling of burnout. It was a signal from your system that your strategy was flawed. It was your mind's way of telling you that you were running on an unsustainable fuel source. It forced you to seek a better way, a renewable source of inner energy. The lesson was critical. Your operational command is this: define 3 small, non-destructive rewards. One could be 15 minutes of guilt-free leisure. Another could be listening to a favorite piece of music. Another could be a quality cup of coffee. For the next week, every single time you complete a difficult, pre-planned task that you were tempted to avoid, you will immediately grant yourself one of these rewards. You are not celebrating the completion of the war. You are celebrating winning a single battle. Train your mind, reward the fight. You have been given a weapon of infinite power. Your focused attention, when directed with singular, uninterrupted intensity, the human mind can solve impossible problems, create timeless art, and build legacies that echo through eternity. Yet you treat this godlike power as a cheap commodity. You allow it to be fractured, stolen, and scattered into 1,000 irrelevant pieces by an endless barrage of notifications, feeds, and trivial distractions. The final battle in the war against procrastination is the battle for your focus. If you lose this battle, you lose everything. A mind that is constantly shifting its attention is a mind that is powerless. It is a shallow river, wide but with no force. A focused mind is a deep channel, carving canyons through rock. The modern world is an environment engineered for your failure. It is designed to hijack your dopamine system, to addict you to novelty, and to keep you in a state of perpetual, low-grade distraction. Every buzz, every ping, every red icon is a tiny crack in your mental fortress, bleeding out the very energy you need to do deep, meaningful work. You will never achieve a state of high performance as long as you allow these incursions. The truth is, multitasking is a myth. What you are actually doing is task switching, and every time you switch, you incur a cognitive cost. It takes time and mental energy to disengage from one task and re-engage with another. By allowing constant interruptions, you are forcing your brain to operate at a fraction of its capacity. You are choosing to fight your war with a dull, broken sword. The great minds, the Einsteins, the Teslas, the Fords did not work in the midst of chaos. They were masters of creating environments of profound, undisturbed concentration. They built fortresses of solitude. They understood that to hear the faint signal of a breakthrough idea, you must first silence the noise of the world. They would disappear for hours, days, or even weeks into their work, emerging only when they had forged something new. They guarded their attention more fiercely than a king guards his treasure. You must become the ruthless gatekeeper of your own mind. You must see your attention as a sacred resource. Your default state must become closed, not open. This requires you to be brutal in eliminating distractions. It means putting your phone in another room, turned off. It means using software to block distracting websites. It means closing your door and signaling to the world that you are unavailable. It means setting specific, scheduled times to engage with the outside world rather than letting the world engage with you on its terms. This will feel uncomfortable at first. Your addicted brain will crave the next hit of novel information. You will feel a phantom sense of missing out. This is the withdrawal symptom of a mind that has forgotten how to be alone with itself. You must push through this. On the other side of that discomfort is a state of consciousness few men ever experience, the state of flow, a state of total immersion where time seems to disappear. Your skills are heightened and your productivity soars. This is where your best work is done. This is where you become a creator. This is the final shield. This is the wall that protects your power. Build it high. Make it strong. Stand guard at the gate of your mind. I am the guardian of my focus. My attention creates worlds. Be grateful for every distraction. Each one is a drill, a test of your defenses. Each notification you ignore, each urge to check your phone that you defeat is a small victory that strengthens your resolve. They are the sparring partners that sharpen your skill as the guardian of your attention. Your final command in this training is to forge your fortress. For the next 24 hours, you will schedule one block of 90 minutes uninterrupted. Write it in your calendar as a non-negotiable appointment with your own genius. During this block, you will turn off your phone completely. You will close all tabs not directly related to your one single chosen task. You will create total, absolute silence. You will work on your most important project and nothing else. Experience what it feels like to give your full, undivided power to a single point. Experience the clarity. Experience the flow. This 90-minute block is your new standard operating procedure. This is how you work now. This is how you win. Throughout this briefing, you have been given the weapons, the strategies, and the operational code to win the war against your own hesitation. You learned that procrastination is a symptom of a deeper virus of doubt. You learned that the antidote is the swift, brutal power of decision. You were given the laws of momentum, the science of identity reforging through autosuggestion, and the non-negotiable value of time. You were taught to burn your bridges, to create positive pressure through accountability, to cultivate your own enthusiasm, and to build an impenetrable fortress of focus. But a weapon is useless without a soldier to wield it. A code is just data until it is executed. The knowledge you have gained is worthless if it remains as information. Its only value is in its application. The final, most crucial principle is this: your behavior shapes your identity. You are not what you think. You are not what you feel. You are what you consistently do. Each time you choose action over hesitation, you cast a vote for the new man you are becoming. Every time you execute a command from this briefing, you are installing the code of your new identity, making it stronger, more permanent, more real. Stop telling yourself you need motivation. A warrior does not need motivation to clean his rifle. It is simply who he is. It is part of his identity. Your productivity, your discipline, your relentless execution, this must become as natural and automatic as breathing. And the only path is through repetition. This is your new life. You are no longer the man who waits. You are the man who acts. You are the man who builds. You are the man who wins. Your mission does not end here. It begins anew every single morning. This video is not a piece of content you consumed. It is your training manual. It is your daily briefing. Your mission now is to ritualize this code. Your command is to return to this briefing. Make it your morning ritual. Let it be the first thing you listen to while you prepare for the day. Reinstall this code every 24 hours until it becomes the very fabric of your being. Now seal your new identity. Make your public declaration. Go to the comments below and write this exact phrase as a contract with yourself and a signal to other soldiers. I am action. Finally, a warrior does not let his brothers fight alone. There is another man in your life who is fighting this same war in silence. He is being eaten alive by his own hesitation. Your final order is to recruit him. Share this briefing with one man you know who needs to hear this command. Do not explain it. Just send it with the message. This is the training I told you about. The war is eternal, but today you became a warrior. The decision is made. Now go execute.